It's important for those of us in leadership positions in the church not to just think of our own ministry, but also to think of passing things on to the next generation. So, training up those who are younger and encouraging them in their ministries, because they're the ones who are going to carry on. But there's also the problem that we don't always know who's actually going to fully carry on. It's like Jesus talking about sowing seed in the different kinds of soil, and you can't predict which soil is actually going to bear fruit, which is going to be the good soil. So we sow, we do our best. God knows the future. So some that we seek to pass things on to may not be ready for that mantle. Each generation needs to pass on the baton to the next generation. Deuteronomy 4:9. Take care, watch yourselves closely, so as neither to forget the things that your eyes have seen, nor to let them slip from your mind all the days of your life. Make them known to your children and to your children's children. This is a motif elsewhere in Deuteronomy as well. Psalm 48, talking about Jerusalem. Uh, Talk about these things to the next generation. Psalm 78, we won't hide them from their children. We'll tell to the coming generation the glorious deeds of the Lord and his might, the wonders that he's done. He's established a decree in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, that he commanded our ancestors to teach their children, that the next generation might know them, the children yet unborn, and rise up and tell them to their children. Exodus 24, 1 and verses 9 and 10. The Lord said to Moses, come up to the Lord, you and Aaron, but not just Moses and Aaron, but Nadab and Abihu. Those were Aaron's two eldest sons, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship at a distance. Then Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up, and they saw the God of Israel. Now imagine this. Nadab and Abihu got front row seats to God's glory. But Nadab and Abihu took God for granted. Leviticus 10:1. Now Aaron's sons Nadab and Abihu each took his censer, put fire on it, laid incense on it, and they offered unholy fire before the Lord, such as he'd not commanded them. This was a sacred duty, a sacred responsibility, a sacred privilege that they had been given. And they blew it. And in the next verse, fire came out from the presence of the Lord and consumed them, and they died before the Lord. That doesn't usually happen, but this is a clear warning in Scripture. Scripture reiterates their fate multiple times. So not just in Leviticus 10:2, but also in Numbers 3:4, Numbers 26:61, and 1 Chronicles 24:2. They died before the Lord because of their sin. But others within the generation were more zealous for God. So Moses stripped Aaron of his vestments, put them on his son Eleazar. So Eleazar turned out better than his brothers. Of course, he had the warning of his brothers, but he turned out better, and so did his brother Ithamar. Aaron died on top of the mountain. Moses and Eleazar, the new high priest, came down from the mountain. And Eleazar had a son who was also zealous for the Lord. Sorry about the picture, but hey, it was free. When Phinehas, son of Eleazar, Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he got up, left the congregation, taking his spear in his hand. I won't describe the rest of it, but anyway, he turned back God's wrath from the Israelites by showing his zeal for the Lord, and it was counted him, Psalm 106 says, for righteousness. For the older generations, such as, well, I was going to say my gray, yeah, you can see gray hair here. All right. So the Lord knows who will become our successors, but we must bear witness to the rising generation of our experiences with the Lord. Psalm 71:17 and 18. O God, from my youth you have taught me, and I still proclaim your wondrous deeds. So even to old age and gray hairs, O God, don't forsake me until I proclaim your might to all the generations to come. Let's invest in the rising generations.